With their new album, Some Nights, will Fun be able to meet the expectations of their old fans who fell in love with their first album, Aim and Ignite, as well as their new fans who caught a cover of their song We Are Young on Glee? Let's find out. Of the two categories that I mentioned at the beginning of this review, I fall into the first category. I fell in love with their first album, Aim and Ignite. I thought it was awesome. It had a Queen vibe to it, and I've listened to it many times since it came out. It is just fantastic to just sit and play right through. So needless to say, I was very excited to see what they would come up with next. However, my excitement faltered a bit when I found out that they were going to be covered on Glee. Now, I've got no problem with Glee. I don't watch it anymore. I used to. It's entertaining, but, you know, it's just a goofy show. But for some reason, it just felt strange to me, very strange, and I'm not at all bothered by the fact that they were on it, because the song, I thought the cover sounded great on Glee, actually, but it just felt weird for some reason. So I was still excited, but I had a little nugget of worry that was kind of growing. And that worry grew even more when I saw the music video for We Are Young with the blatant product placement. It just really didn't sit well with me, and I was definitely getting nervous. But finally, I was able to listen to Some Nights, and I've listened to it a few times, and I have to say, overall, it's not bad. But it's also not at all what I was hoping for. The first thing that I can say about Some Nights is that it feels very disjointed and just very strange. Some of the songs actually feel like they'd be on a third or fourth album once you feel like you're losing steam. But this is only their second album, and they are full steam ahead, especially with their Glee song. I don't know, it just felt very strange. Another thing I can say about this album is that I think an alternate title for it could be We Got a Drum Machine, because there's a lot of crazy drums on this thing. And not in a bad way, sometimes in a bad way, but I do love a lot of the crazy drums on this album, but some of them I don't like at all. And of course, I will get into details about which songs I like and didn't like in a minute, but overall, it definitely felt like somebody got a drum machine and they were like, hey, this is pretty cool, and they just went with it. Also, this album almost felt ironic and self-aware in a way at first, with the use of auto-tune, but then it started to feel like it wasn't so ironic, and, you know, take that as you wish. But the thing about the auto-tune is I'm kind of, not a hypocrite about auto-tune, but I am totally on both sides of the fence on auto-tune. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. The ways that I don't like it is when it's almost used as a trick, to trick you into thinking that the person is singing the way that they are and not using auto-tune. So, you know, used as an enhancement, I guess, I'm not usually a fan, but used blatantly like it is on this album Some Nights, and, you know, many artists use it very blatantly, and you can tell that it's clearly auto-tune, then it's almost more of like an instrument, and I don't mind it as much, because it's like, we're not trying to trick you, clearly this is auto-tuned, and it's almost more of an instrument. So on Some Nights, for the most part, I liked it because I can appreciate it as an instrument, if you get what I mean. So I did not have a big problem with the auto-tune aspects. And another thing that I feel about this album is, if I was maybe 16 or 17 years old, so maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I might have liked this album more. I don't know why, but it feels kind of juvenile in a lot of respects, which is weird because it seems kind of like a, you know, a downgrade, I guess, from the last album, which I thought was just full of heart and soul and integrity, and I loved it so much, Aim and Ignite, I mean. But this album feels kind of like it lost some soul, it lost some integrity, and it just doesn't feel anything like the first album to me. So let me go into some details on what songs I did and did not like. First of all, this album started off with a huge bang. The intro, the Some Nights intro, I thought was great, and then the song Some Nights, easily my favorite song on this album. I thought it was amazing. I still think it's amazing. It's definitely a great song. It's a driving song, it's an epic song, and I could imagine watching it live and it just being amazing, so I really loved this song. Of course, that set the bar pretty high for the rest of the album. And the next song is the single that I had heard before when they released it, We Are Young, which I like it, but it feels like it's two different songs kind of mashed together. It's very strange sounding. It actually kind of sums up the album because the album is just as strange. The next song is Carry On, which is okay, but then we get to the song that just made me mad, I guess. It's called It Gets Better. Yes, It Gets Better is the name of the song. Now, if you haven't heard the song and you're just hearing this title for the first time, you're probably thinking what I'm thinking. It Gets Better, like the It Gets Better campaign that is, kind of a hot thing right now. This song felt like a desperate attempt to cash in on the It Gets Better movement, I guess. That's what it felt like. And, obviously maybe it wasn't a desperate attempt to cash in. That might be a little harsh. I think I'm being a little harsh. But the song, speaking of harsh, is very harsh on the ears. Not only that, but the lyrics are just uninspired and just kind of seem like, okay, this is the It Gets Better campaign. Let's make a song about it. I don't know. It really bugged me. I could be obviously completely wrong. Maybe it's the most genuine song on the album for, their point of view, I guess, Fun's point of view, but it definitely came off as, I don't know, it just felt very, let's be topical, and I did not like that at all. As the album goes on, I think that it's relatively forgettable, but what's odd about this album is it almost starts to introduce a hip-hop vibe, which is just, it's weird. The whole thing is so weird. And now, I'm not saying I didn't like it, because, I didn't not like it, I'll put it that way, but I think it's gonna turn off a lot of fans that have been around since the first album, Aim and Ignite, and even before with the format. It's just, it just feels like kind of a strange direction, and first of all, unexpected. Second of all, not what I was hoping for, but the thing is, it's like, they're free to do whatever they want, so what can I say? I did not dislike it, like I said, but it just wasn't, I wasn't feeling it 100%. And as the album closes, I liked the calm part of 1 Foot. It gets calm towards the end, and I like that part a lot, and I also really like the bonus song, Out on the Town. So I like some of the songs, and I love Some Nights. Honestly, Some Nights makes the album good to me. Like, it makes it great, actually. It's worth it just for that song. But unfortunately, It Gets Better really, really takes it down a huge, huge notch for me, just because of, like, how I explained. But overall, it just definitely was nowhere near on the level of Aim and Ignite, in my opinion, and I don't want to say I'm let down by it, because once again, who am I to say anything? They can do whatever they want, but it was not up to my expectations and my hopes, I guess, but I didn't hate it or anything. I didn't dislike it. I'm not sure how fans are going to react. Like I said, I think that older fans might be a little put off by it, but maybe newer fans from Glee might enjoy it more, especially with the It Gets Better song. They're gonna eat it up. Some good songs and one amazing song make it okay in my book. I will be listening to Some Nights the song over and over again, and maybe going around to the rest of the album. But let me know in the comments what you think of Some Nights, the new album from Fun. Let me know which category you fall into. Have you been a fan since Aim and Ignite, or even before with the format? Are you a new fan who caught a cover of their song on Glee? Let me know which category you're in, and then let me know what you think of the album. Also, let me know what you think of It Gets Better. Do you agree or disagree with me on that? And let me know what songs you like or don't like, and that's pretty much it.
So if by the time the bar closes and you feel like falling down, I'll carry you home tonight.